G'day guys, Grant from Mega Morelia. Today's video is basically going to be an unboxing. I've got quite a large delivery this week, so I've got some aquatic plants. Also with these aquatic plants they can be grown immersed. So I want to show you the versatility there. So I want to show you can have them in your aquascapes, in your aquariums, but you can also use them in paluderiums and also bioactive vivariums. I also ordered in some livestock, so I've got some fish, so I've got some nano fish. I also got some African dwarf cichlids, just to show you guys there are an alternative to your opisthogramus. And that's what I'm currently into breeding and what I'm interested in keeping. I also got a wholesale order of Tillandsias, some rare species, some really cool species that you won't necessarily find in your local garden store. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing and I'll show you what I got in this week. Okay guys, to start the unboxing, we'll start with the aquatic plants. Now, they may be sold as aquatic plants, but they can also be grown immersed. So some of these will be going into my aquariums and others into paluderiums and vivariums. Now, I wanted to order in some basic low light plants that anybody can grow with a little bit of fertilizer, just to show you guys that an aquascape or a paluderium layout is very much achievable with very little knowledge when it comes to growing aquatic plants. So what I'll do is I'll walk you through what I've ordered and let you know what we're going to do with each variety. Okay guys, so I've ordered in 3 different species of cryptocorns. So I've ordered in one of my personal favorites, which is Cryptocorn tropica. So once that's submerged and it's had its transition period, you'll find that the leaves, the new leaf growth will come out red. And it'll also have some ruffleage on the leaves, which I think adds some texture to the scape. And they can be grown in low light to medium light without much effort, without much difficulty. That's one of my personal favorites. I've also ordered in some Cryptocorn undulata, which once again will go a nice red burgundy color once it's had its transition period. And the third species I ordered in was just your standard Cryptocorn Wentii green, just to have that contrast between the 2 shades of red, have some nice vibrant green in there as well. Alright guys, so this is the Cryptocorn tropica. So as you can see, it has those lighter green leaves on the outside. It is its immersed growth, so that's what it would look like if it was placed in a paluderium or a vivarium. But as you can see, that center growth, the new leaves there, are already starting to turn red and they've got that ruffleage. So that just gives you a basic idea of what to expect once you place that in an aquarium in a submerged state. I think it's quite beautiful and like I said, it's one of my personal favorites. Alright guys, so this is the Cryptocorn undulata. So this is still in its immersed state. So like I said, this is an unboxing. These have recently just been delivered. So this will in turn be a nice burgundy red once it's placed under the water and it gets its submerged growth. These get quite a little bit taller than the Cryptropica, but as you can see, it just adds that little bit of height. You want it in the foreground versus the Cryptropica in the front there. So that's your Cryptocorn undulata. Alright guys, so this is the third species, the Cryptocorn Wentii green. So this is still its immersed state and it won't change too much. The leaves will get a little bit more elongated, but it will keep this nice vibrant green colour, which will just balance nicely with the red species of Cryptocorn it's going in with. So long story short, I've ordered in all of these plants to create an aquascape for you guys to show you that low light plants, beginner plants, are awesome and you can create quite a nice scape with them. So that's your Cryptocorn Wentii green. Now another awesome beginner plant for anyone getting into paluderiums and aquariums is the Anubias. They're pretty forgiving, they love low light, they're slow growers, but you can achieve quite a nice aquascape with them. So I'm actually going to use some of these in vivariums and my paluderiums and grow them immersed. as well as show you guys what they look like once they're submerged in an aquarium aquascape. So the one you're looking at right now is a mother plant, so it's a Anubias nana. So I ordered this one in for an aquascape I'm going to do with a new setup. So as you can see, it's quite a large plant. So you can actually divide this plant by separating the rhizome, so cutting little sections off. But in turn, I think I'm going to use this as a whole plant. I'm going to attach it to some driftwood, maybe a rock, some ciru stone, and show you guys the kind of aquascape you can achieve. Now these guys are pretty forgiving. They are slow growers. They do like a little bit of all-purpose fertilizer. And like I said, they can be grown in low light to medium light. But they are an awesome beginner plant if you're looking to start a planted aquarium or even a paluderium. So these guys do flower. As you can see, there is a flower just there. So it happens every now and again. So as you can see, this is still in its immersed state. It hasn't been submerged as of yet, but I'll show you what the transition period is like and how we're going to go about using this in the aquascape coming up in the next couple of videos. So that is Anubias nana. Okay, so I've got another mother plant I've ordered in with this unboxing. So this is another variety of Anubias. This is Anubias lucy. This one here gets a little bit taller than the nana. As you can see, it's got a flower right there. So it's still very much in its immersed state, grown above water from the wholesalers. That's how they normally come. But I'll be using this alongside the Anubias nana in an upcoming aquascape, just to show you guys what you can achieve with a low light beginner plant. Quite a compact Anubias, but they are one of my favourite varieties. So that's Anubias lucy. Also in this unboxing, in this order, I ordered in some driftwood creations. So once again, this is just Anubias that has been attached to some driftwood, as you can see. Now when you plant this plant, you cannot plant this rhizome below the sand, the substrate, whatever kind of substrate you're using, because it will rot and it will die. So the most popular method of keeping these guys is attaching them to driftwood, to rocks, and they seem to do quite well. So this one here is a good 30 centimeters high on a really nice piece of driftwood here, which will look really good in a paluderium, and I think that's what I'm going to use this piece in. So that's Anubias barteri attached to driftwood. So just like the Anubias barteri I showed you, that large Anubias attached to the driftwood, I did order in a few smaller driftwood creations. So here's another one. It's quite a nice plant. As you can see, the rhizome, the roots have attached itself to the driftwood, and that's how it's commonly grown in the aquarium, paluderium or vivarium. You've just got to remember not to bury that rhizome, which is just here. That's got to be above the substrate, otherwise it will rot and the plant will die. But besides that, that's the only concern you need to worry about. This one's also got a flower. So that's one. This is another one I've ordered in. And this one has quite a healthy root system on it. So you can see what happens after a little while, how the rhizome will attach itself to the wood or the rock. And that's holding itself there quite firm. It's not going to break off, it's not going to float away. And it's quite an easy process to create an aquascape. Okay guys, so that's just a brief rundown of the first box I've unboxed there. So that's predominantly all the aquarium plants and paluderium plants that I'm currently going to be using in an upcoming build. I also want to show you guys that it's pretty simple to create an aquascape with low light plants. They're also very forgiving, and with a little bit of fertilizer, a few easy steps, you can get quite a nice aquascape or a nice scape in a paludarium. And from here, you can sort of build up your confidence, build up your experience, and then move forward into more intermediate to advanced plants. So once again, all of these plants here do not require CO2 injection. They do not require a high-tech setup. They don't need high light. Low to medium light, a little bit of fertilizer a few times a week, and you'll get a great outcome. You'll get a great response from the plants. So what I'll do is I'll pack these away and I'll show you what else came. So I ordered some fish, and I also got an order of some really nice Tillandsias. So there's also a few rare species in there that I want to show you guys in this unboxing. So stick around and I'll show you what came in the next box. Alright guys, in the second box I got in a wholesale order of some Tillandsias. Now there are some awesome species in here. There's also some rare species that you're not going to find in your general garden store. What I also wanted to say as well is I'm going to have Tillandsias for sale on my Facebook shop. So if you guys are having a hard time trying to get different species, or even just finding them in your local garden stores, there's always an option. You can come on over, you can see what stock I have available, and I can post them to you, no dramas whatsoever. They're all going to come labelled with their, species specific, so you know exactly what you're going to get. And I can always include a fact sheet, or you can always just send me a message, and I can tell you how to care for them and the best places to position these guys in your paluderiums or vivariums. So air plants are pretty awesome. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Some are tropical, some are found in deserts, so there is a bit of variance there on how you should keep them and what kind of lights you should keep them under. Now they do pull all of their nutrients and water from the atmosphere, so wherever they're being kept, so high humidity for those rainforest species is suggested. So obviously in a closed vivarium environment, they are going to do quite well. Now they also like circulation, they like air movement, that's important. So just remember that when you are placing them inside of a vivarium, to think about how is your ventilation, how good is your ventilation, and then from there your placement should be pretty easy. Now as you can see, I do have quite a few different species available. I do have a few of them currently coming into flower, if you guys can see that, which is kind of cool. Now the most common mistake with Tillandsias is too much love, which is overwatering. So as you can see, the way they're shaped, they collect all the water into the center crown, similar to a bromeliad. Now you need to make sure that they're not sitting in water, because they will rot and they will die. And that goes across all species. So the cool thing with them is they're low maintenance, a few simple rules, few simple steps, and you can keep quite amazing different species. Like, that is super cool. And he will get quite a lot bigger. Now what will happen is once they flower, the mother plant will usually die, but before that happens, they will throw some pups, usually from the bottom here, and the life cycle continues. So from one plant you can easily cultivate 6, 7, 8, you know. They are very slow growing, keep that in mind, but they do add a cool texture to a vivarium, a bioactive setup, a paluderium. I have quite a few species in both of my paluderiums, and they do quite well. So maintenance for these guys, I usually give them a drink once a week. I'll fill up a container and I'll just pop these guys in. Leave them for about 20 minutes to an hour. Let them soak up all that water, and then I'll pull them out and I'll place them upside down. So you can see I've just watered these guys, the water falling out. You want to make sure that it's nice and dry in that crown, in that center part of the plant. And then once they're dry, you know, leave them half an hour to an hour. You can place them back into your vivariums or your paluderiums, and they're good to go for another week. So pretty easy care when it comes to some awesome plants. So like I said, once again guys, if you're having trouble sourcing these guys locally, you can find them available on my Facebook store, and I can freight them to you. So, and like I said, they will come labeled, species specific, so you know exactly what you're getting. Some of them will turn red, some of them have different colored flowers, so it's good to know what you're getting. And as you can see, they're all super healthy. And most of them are relatively cheap, relatively affordable, so you don't have to go breaking the bank to, you know, add something a little different to your setup, to your bioactive vivs or your paluderiums. So speaking of upcoming builds, you can see I've just put all those Anubias and Crypts away. We're going to be doing an aquascape in this bottom tank, just to show you guys with low light plants, beginner plants, what you can create, which is pretty awesome. Now I have got myself a bigger enclosure. Now my Boyd's Forest Dragon is ready for an upgrade. So as you can see, I've got some ghost wood I've ordered in, and I do have some Banksia trunks here, which are pretty cool, which I'm going to use to design the actual bioactive background there. So that's going to be coming up in a video in maybe a couple of weeks. And I'll walk you guys step by step on the processes I do here to create a natural environment for your animals. My main goal here is to show every single one of you that nature inside your home is very achievable. As long as you follow a few simple steps, you can enrich your animal's life by having something natural, having it housed in something natural, so you get to see its behaviour as you would out in the wild. And that's why I build these enclosures, because you see a lot of behaviour you wouldn't see otherwise. Alright guys, so I guess the next step is to show you what fish come in. Now I've already put them away, I didn't want to keep them in the bags. They did take 2 days to get to me, so I was a little concerned, so I've acclimated them and I've placed them into the aquariums. So what I'll do is I'll get some B-roll of the fish that came in. Alright guys, just an update on the two paluderiums. So this is the Mopani Paluderium. As you can see, it's grown in quite a lot since the last video. It's really starting to establish and be that little slice of nature I envisioned when I was building it about 3 months ago. But as you can see, it's all looking really good. I'm really pleased with the outcome. So inside this paluderium I just have your common white-cloud mountain minnow, a bulletproof hardy fish that you just can't go wrong with. And then over to the left we have our Japanese bonsai paluderium, and that's grown in quite a lot since the last video as well. So you can see the pennywort starting to climb up the Dragon Stone, and I also have some semi-immersed just growing along the top of the waterline there. Now I do have some gold barbs in here, just 2, but they're a little bit shy. But as you can see, they're both looking fantastic, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If there's anything I can help you with, don't forget to shoot me a comment or even just hit me up on Facebook and I can answer any questions you guys have. So remember, everything you saw today I can have available on my Facebook shop. So if you guys are interested, just let me know. I can order those things into you and I can post them to you, no problems at all. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and let me know what you want to see in upcoming videos. So in the next few weeks I will be upgrading my boy's forest dragon setup, so there will be another bioactive build which I can take you through step by step. Also, I've got a lot of plants sitting here waiting for that build as well, so I'll take you through and I'll do a species highlight as well, just so you guys can get a basic understanding of the plants I choose to use and how I grow them successfully. So once again guys, thanks for all the support, thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, keep nature simple.